Welcome to Somnette Speaks, where we explore the sleepless side of mental health and spotlight strategies to help people reclaim rest. Today we're diving into the ACT framework, that's acceptance and commitment therapy, and how it applies to insomnia and the struggles that often come with it. Joining us is Miss Wendy Lee, a registered psychotherapist from Pillars of Hope Counseling and Psychotherapy, serving clients online across Ontario and in person in Newmarket and Aurora. Welcome, Miss Lee.
Hi. Hi, Annie.
So, part one, we're going to be talking about ACT framework basics. So, for someone who's never heard of it, what is acceptance and commitment therapy?
Acceptance and commitment therapy, in short, we call it ACT. It explores the connection between thoughts, emotions, and living a values aligned life. It acknowledges that while there will be difficulties in life, it differentiates between is that something that we can tackle or is something that we need to accept? And the ability to able to distinguish between these two, it's called psychological flexibility. So for something that we can tackle, we'll look for strategies to manage it. For some things that like we need to accept, then we'll practice mindful acceptance to the circumstances in life. So for someone who experiences insomnia or anxiety, it's a good like approach to evaluate basically their overall well-being and identify any kind of sources of anxiety or stress, as these factors often correlate with our sleep quality.
Thank you for sharing. That's really interesting. So, can you explain the ACT compass or how it does help people identify what really matters to them?
The ACT compass is a tool that helps identify what matters to us. Um, so um, so you can see there is a so in each domain, so there are for the domains relevant to students, I list out like 8 domains that are relevant to students, and then so in each part, in the main part of each large box, first we can start off by writing a few keywords about what's important or meaningful to you in these areas of life. And for example, what sort of person do you want to be? What are some personal strengths and qualities you wish to cultivate? Values that you want to embody or actions that you want to take. If a box is not relevant to you, you can also leave it blank as well. And it's also okay if like same keywords appear in more than one box, and it will identify what are your core values. So once you've done that for all the boxes, in the left square, you can rate on a scale from 0 to 10 how important these values are to you at this point in your life. So 0 meaning not important, 10 meaning extremely important. Then on the right square, you can mark on a scale from 0 to 10, showing how effectively you are living by these values right now. So 0 meaning not at all, 10 meaning living by them fully. And after we've done a survey of all the domains, you can take a look at what you have written. Anything jumps out at you? What does that tell you? Is there any domains that you feel is very important, but then you're not living out right now? So that can also help identify, what are some steps that you can take to make changes so that you can be closer to living out the values that are important to you.
Thank you so much. What's an example of using the ACT compass when sleep anxiety kicks in?
So this tool is more suited for an evaluation of your overall well-being. So that's not necessarily to be used right before like that time that I'm not able to fall asleep, so to speak. But for example, say a student identify difficulties balancing stress between school and extracurricular activities, then they can evaluate if there are any activities that they can cut out or seek other counseling support or school counselor to work on, say, time management skills. However, once you identify the sources of stress and anxiety, you can also take a look at how to address them. And this is where the next tool, the choice point diagram, would come into play.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, what is the choice point diagram and how is it used in ACT or ACT?
So the choice point diagram. So basically, so first we identify like a situation um, that's challenging right now. So let's say it is insomnia, right? Difficulty falling asleep. So what are some related thoughts or feelings like associated with that challenging situation with insomnia? For example, a lot of people struggle with like an overactive mind, right? Or thoughts
Mm-hmm.
or worries, right? Those are kind of a very common um, factors affecting our sleep, right? So after identify that, and also feelings, right? So some of the feelings could be I feel, anxious, stressed, or very like irritable. But it's not really, not intentionally to be so, right?
Yeah.
So then the second on so the second question we're looking at away moves, so the arrow on the left. So when you get hooked by these thoughts or feelings, what kind of away moves do you do? For example, like acting ineffectively or behaving unlike the person you want to be. So some of the away moves, right? It could be like say related to insomnia. It could be like, oh, I'm like scrolling my phone on my bed. I'm just I'm not able to get all my things done, so I'm procrastinating late into night in at night, or not having enough like winding down time. So some of the again like thoughts or feelings could be I'm very tired, unable to concentrate, unusually cranky or irritable, and that's not how I want to be. So after identifying some of the kind of away moves, things that kind of lead you away from how you want to behave or who you want to be, then next we look at what kind of towards moves. So the arrow towards the right, towards moves that like you're already making or you would like to start making, so that you can act more effectively, behaving like the person you want to be. So some of the towards moves like uh, related to insomnia, which I also um, notice you have talked about a lot of that in your Instagram as well. For example, like maybe I need to schedule like a period to wind down, such
Mm-hmm.
as say reading, stretching, or taking a bath, or meditation, or doing relaxation strategies, or other things that I can do is like maybe I need to set daily goals to make sure I complete my tasks on time, or maybe say I exercise like say every other day to improve my energy level and overall health, or mindful of my diet that may also affect how well I sleep at night. So identify what are some of the things that you can do to lead you closer to the person you want to be, closer to the actions you want to take.
Thank you so much. And how can someone begin integrating the ACT compass or choice point into their everyday routine?
So you can definitely start by taking pause and incorporating like these strategies or ideas. If it's not a time that you can make a lot of changes in your life right now, for example, you're in the middle of the term, all the activities are kind of set
Mm-hmm.
in place, you can't make a lot of changes. I would suggest using the choice point to identify a way and towards move that help you, being able to identify things that you can do right now, or things you can like cut down on, or things you can do more of, so that to lead you to the goals you want to reach. And then say at another time, for example, like the beginning of a term, or end of a year, start of a new year, the ACT compass would be a good tool to take, to kind of take an overall evaluation of where you're at right now, identify maybe like key domains that you want to work on. um, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Lee, for sharing your time and wisdom with us today. To everyone listening, remember you don't have to wait for sleep to find rest. You can choose a meaningful direction even in the dark. We'll see you next time on Somnette Speak, and thank you, Miss Lee, once again.